Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
And this is Critical Failure. We are currently on the Deva, I think it's Deva. Deva, possibly. Deva Encounters. I wrote this one by myself, so if it's shit, I'm sorry. My fault. We'll take this. This is the first time we're doing this format. I did it in like 30 minutes. It's not exactly extremely detailed. I was trying to think of what an angelic thing would do. And I was like, these things are overpowered. There's only a shit ton of things they can do. Let's just focus on the most intelligent thing that they would do. So that's what I did.
Smite an evil party.
Yeah, that's all they would do. So this is all in the consideration of it's only attacking evil creatures. It's only doing everything to obliterate all evil within the area and save the good that are within it. So that is what I am saying in this context of this video. So if you're trying to think, hey, that wouldn't make sense, what happens if there's some good creatures? It's not going to be targeting the good creatures specifically. It would save them after the fact the battle's over. With that out of the way, did we already say our names?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Deva Encounters. So this is a new setup. We're doing it for the water, air, and land. Usually I would say sea, air, and land, but water in general. We're starting with water. I say that you're probably in some sort of large ship, boat type of thing.
Like a sailing campaign?
Yeah, like how the Mighty Nine has a mistake now. Like a boat of some sort. It's going to use its flight in every terrain it's going to have, either on the land, in the air, or not.
The first thing that pops up in my head when he's like, we're talking about boats and stuff is just Blackbeard fighting this. Like 1v1 me, bro.
But one thing I thought it would do is actually, while flying, because it has a 90-foot movement speed with flight.
Oh man, that's fast.
Boy, Sanic. But I figured it would pick up an enemy, throw him in the ocean. Fight that enemy.
Just feed him to the sharks.
Imagine if there is. And the angel might have the ability to charm animals. Is an angel. But I thought it would be a smart thing for him to throw enemies into the water, you know.
Yeah.
Depending on your DM, they might not know how to swim.
Does the Deva need to breathe? Because if not, you could just take the sucker and just go straight into the water and just drown him.
Food, drink, or sleep. That's what it is. It does require air.
Okay.
Food, drink, or sleep. But it has a high constitution. So he could dive deep and then come back up.
Yeah, hold his breath longer.
Yeah. So I would say probably could do that.
Or just use its like really fast movement speed, because once it gets like a certain depth, that creature probably won't have like enough movement speed to like get back to the surface before drowning.
Depending on the constitution modifier.
Yeah, but like an average creature's only gonna move like 30 feet.
Unless
you take
you're
a dash. Yeah,
dashing is 60.
Yeah, but if the angel like grabs a dude and then dashes and then like dashes again.
I would say that I would, as DM.
Actually, you would have to take into account to swim speed, which it probably doesn't have.
Yeah, it doesn't have swim speed. But I would say that, including pressure, you would have to have...
Start being crushed.
Yeah, you would have stuff like that where you're having to fight against that. The angel probably wouldn't have that issue. Because it is, like, made out of God essence, basically. And I feel like it would be able to drop that thing off, come back up with no difficulty, like no difficulty whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But that creature has to make certain saves.
Yeah, it'd just be like stuck.
Yeah.
And if it got up like too fast, it'd probably still have to make like a Constitution save.
Constitution save with disadvantage. Yeah. Because I don't imagine every creature knowing that about how to breathe properly while floating up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be that nice addition to it. Another thing, if you just flung it into the water, just beat the fuck out of it while he's flying. He does make 2 melee attacks. It says literally 2 melee attacks. It doesn't say with what, but he has a mace, I think. So beat the fuck out of him with the mace.
I just imagine you just like fly by and then just punch the dude in the face while he's trying to swim. You fucking thought.
Icarus didn't fly too close to the sun. He just straight up sucker punched the sailor. But I would say that that's probably like he'd be flying around with it for tactical advantage. I said that he would possibly have, like I was talking to you earlier, that he would have spells that aren't listed in the monster manual. Like I made him a 5th level spellcaster. For the cleric, I thought the cleric would matter and match perfectly.
You mean like he can cast 5th level spells?
Yeah.
Okay.
He can cast 5th level spells, normal spell list applies. He has cleric spells and probably Eldritch Blast. The only reason why I said Eldritch Blast is because you can homebrew basically it being some sort of similar thing.
Like a Radiant Blast?
Yeah, Radiant Blast, just the same stats, just call it something different. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you could just switch out the damage type if you want to use that.
Radiant, yeah. That's what you could do. I thought it would be a really intelligent thing to go by and do something like that. Or it probably has ranged attacks with melee, or not melee, but ranged weapons, like bows, arrows. It doesn't only have that. One thing that really pisses me off as a DM is when my players look up the creature I am using.
Wesley.
Yeah, I was about to go Wesley, because Balor.
But with a range attack, in some like movies or comics and whatnot, sometimes they have the angel where it'll flap its wing and it'll like shoot like steel like feathers.
That's really cool. I didn't even think about that. That's real cool. A feather attack.
Yeah, I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I didn't even think about that. This one I really like. Its dive attack I really boosted compared to other dive attacks, like the Aarakocra. So the Aarakocra just adds 1 extra d6 to the javelin attack.
Mm-hmm.
I made it to where, because it has damage die instead, so if it uses its fist, it's just an extra damage die. The dive attack, if it's moving 20 feet in flight, it deals an extra damage die. If it's moving 50, which is over half of it, does an extra damage die. And that's it. So maximum of 2 extra damage die, because I'm using that like bullet mechanic. Not bullet mechanic, but in real life, the faster it's going, the more damage it's going to do. Hence why certain bullets will do more damage at a distance than higher caliber rounds. Like, I think the 22 Hornet shoots really fast, and it's not the size of the bullet, it's the velocity of it that will puncture body armor, gun-related things.
Visually, this kind of makes me think of Superman sometimes when he builds up speed and he's like punching through things in the air.
Yeah, and like, you know, it slows him down eventually to where he can't punch it as well. That's what I'm kind of imagining. Like, he has to build up that speed and then finally hit harder. That's kind of like the mechanic I was going for. So I thought that would work. I gave it, I referenced this earlier, God Essence. Basically, it heals 30 health points per round. I was talking to Ed about this, to where a neat mechanic for that is actually to have it stop healing if it were to take necrotic damage.
I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, because it's like, it's basically, it is made of positive energy. It's a goddamn angel, for God's sakes.
With the healing, though, like, depending on how much you want to modify this and increase the challenge, you could probably, like, decrease the healing or increase the healing.
Yeah.
If I were to use this healing, I'd probably decrease it to maybe about, like, 15 at most. But that's just my take on it.
Well, the reason why I said 30 is because this thing is only resistant to radiant damage, and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing are not magical attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Every other thing is poison.
That's
acid.
weird.
All that shit can still harm me. That's why I said 30.
Normally everything is just like, poison.
Exactly. That's why I said that. Because you're going to be able to hurt it, which is basic anything but radiant. And it's not vulnerable to necrotic, but I feel like it would be. That's just me.
I could possibly see that.
I already talked about the cleric things. Let's get into the air. We've never done airships. We've done boats. But us at Critical Failures would never have done any sort of airship, any sort of blimp, any sort of aerial travel.
Yet.
Did I do a train, like a magnetic train?
That was Wesley.
Oh, I thought that was me.
Yeah, he had a magnetic train track because we were using it to bounce around in various parts when we were in the military. In that one.
That's right. I forgot about that campaign. That was a shit campaign. I'll openly say it to his face, and I have. But this one I found really cool. So I was talking about him basically doing the same thing with the water.
Mm-hmm.
But he's targeting non-flight humanoids or creatures.
And he's just eating them in the air.
You were right. He is just picking them up.
Honestly, I think that's worse.
Oh, the Deva would make... It's smart. It has like an 18 intelligence, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to know, more than likely, if you can fly. If you look like a spellcaster, you probably know Featherfall. He knows magic, probably. Is he going to throw you off the fucking cliff? Probably not. I mean, off the side of the airship? Probably not. Your buddy who's a paladin, who only know smite.
Even then, that's still like a good way to get rid of like a spellcaster or to get the spellcaster to burn spell slots.
Yeah, but just like throw the motherfucker off of the goddamn side. You got all of these other guys. That'd be smart. I'm saying if it's a blimp, why even fight the party?
Yeah, just take out the blimp.
Exactly.
Just pop it.
That's what I put down. Actually, I did blasting holes in the flotation devices of the thing. Spelljammer. What runs a Spelljammer vessel?
The mage with like that little helmet thing.
Exactly. I thought about Spelljammer. We never ran a Spelljammer thing. I said, oh my God, yeah. We had critical failure. I've never done it yet. But I said he would probably target that person.
That makes sense. I mean, generally, I think the angel would take out the magic casters to begin with. Just because they're the ones that are going to pose the most threat to it. And if you knock them out, normally they're kind of squishier.
I agree.
And like, what's a barbarian going to do with this? Especially if it has ranged attacks.
Exactly.
Just yell at me.
The land. Now this one is the one that I had the least to write for, so I just put it in the most OP thing that I could. And basically I said it would stay to the air, like all the other ones it has. But it may call in backup like a planetar or solar.
I don't see this being able to call in, like, because that's a higher rank angel, right?
The solar or the planetar?
Well, I know the solar is, that's like top dog.
See, I only did quick glance readings. The planetar is a weapon. The solar is a warrior, if I'm correct. So I'm imagining this thing because the Deva is the emissary. He's like, hey, I'm here to help you. The planetar is like, I'm here to destroy you. The solar is like, fuck all of you and your fucking demon you rode in.
Yeah, like if he shows up, that's when
you really fucked up. So that's why I'm thinking the Deva would be like, hey, Michael,
please help.
Gabriel, blow your trumpets. But I forgot you were wearing the hat. Metalheads. But yeah, I was thinking, he'd probably call in for some sort of angelic backup. I didn't have anything in the Manchi manual directly that I was actually looking at in the angels specifically.
For the land encounter, since you wanted to add like godly essence into the angel, I think it'd be cool if it like kind of like figuratively tore a part of that essence off and planted it into the earth itself, and it like created like elementals, like earth elementals.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah, like you're sitting there fighting it, and then all of a sudden like an earth elemental like comes out of the ground and like grabs you by the feet, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Sand coffin.
Yep.
Sand barrier. Oh man, I really want to practice fucking Liam O'Brien's voice now. That would fucking work perfectly. I remember when we found out that he played what's-his-face in Resident Evil 5.
Oh, yeah.
The beginning character. But that is what I came up with for the Deva encounters. I know it's not exactly, a encounter that you would probably see religiously.
With the land one, I think it'd be cool if it had like a sort of like special like ground attack where it like created spikes, but they're like valuable gems. Like emerald just comes out of the ground and like impales you or something. I think that'd be cool. I don't know why. I like that.
I just imagine a cross popping up and it's like, you will know what Jesus felt. And then you have to make like a fucking dexterity save or be crucified for 1d4 rounds. And then Romans will just sit there and poke you with a spear.
And you also take psychic damage as you try to figure out who Jesus is.
That's the fastest sandals throw I've ever seen. But anyway, that is what I've come up with. Do you have any other optional things?
I think that's it. If you do Spelljammer, I think it'd be cool like to see angels like pop up while you're in the space in between. I forget what it's called. I don't know if they call it space or if they have
astral plane.
Is that what they use when they sail through to like different planets?
It's wherever the astral dreadnoughts are, so I would assume the astral plane.
Okay.
Because that's where they go through space and shit.
I think it'd be cool to have like just see them, because you don't really see angels like ever in any games, to be honest. And like I know Descent into Avernus has like a few, I think, but
and then there's my shield.
In our games, I don't think there's ever really been an angel besides that.
No, I played an Aasimar once.
That's not an angel. I mean like full blown angel. Because
Oh.
I've played a fuck ton of those.
Yeah, like the angelic guide counts in my opinion. But yeah, since we don't really have anything else, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe as I bring you more we bring you more D&D content in the future. Comment down below if you'd like to see anything from us in the future, or any creatures.
Yeah, any suggestions?
Yeah,
or
suggestions most definitely. Please hit
Or-
the bell notification button.
If you have any encounters you'd probably use for this creature, that'd be neat.
Yeah,
I can see that because I'm always the DM for the most part.
yeah, I think my favorite thing out of this is between Dive and God Essence. Like, God Essence for very obvious reasons. Dive because it's like, you're going to get bit. I'm imagining
I just like
Saitama slapping the fuck out of the Deep Sea King. And that's like quick frame where his eyeballs like in the fucking frame.
Mhm.
When he's exploding. That's what I'm imagining this Deva doing.
I just like kind of imagining them being able to imbue things with like sentience or like life.
Yeah, that's really cool in my opinion. But
I think that's it for the video.
yeah, that is it for the video. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe. We are 3 away from 50 subscribers. Let's try and hit that. That would be amazing. Let's try and get those numbers up. Let's hit 1,000 as soon as we can. Let's try to hit 100 by the end of the year. You know what? We got 50 before, or hopefully we'll get 50 by the end of the year. Let's try and get 100 by the end of the year. We're nearing that 50 subscriber count, so we are still going to try and get miniatures. Please comment either at our Critical Failure Instagram or through email, through my personal email, which will be at the end of the video or in the description box. So please do that so we can try and get more people inside of our raffle. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
See you guys in the next video.